All right, Music Posse. Let me put you on pause right about here. All right. Social friends, subscribers who, I'm going to call this out. Subscribers who missed me and my co-host 4 weeks ago. Yeah, you missed me. I know. No, I'm just joking. I miss you too. And the reason why I can say that is because my co-host Greg and I, 4 weeks ago, we decided to skip doing a live stream. We needed a break. I'm just kidding. It was really this. Greg was busy selling real estate, and yours truly was busy having fun doing other stuff. And at the last minute, we kind of forgot. So we were a no-show for that reason. But we're back. We're back with you tonight. So before I bring in my co-host, let me ask him, by the way, for those of you who forgot what his biggest hobby is, when he is not negotiating contracts, getting a home ready to be sold, getting buyers to look at properties, and of course ask, hey, let's write an offer, right? This is it. Let me share with you, as a reminder, what I know he loves to do this time of the year. Here we go. And as I bring this up, Greg, you're going to laugh. I see you laughing. This is what this guy loves to do. And he knows all of the waterways in DuPage County to do this in. I don't think this is one of the DuPage County waterways, but guess what? Let's bring Greg into the conversation now.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. But you got one thing wrong on that picture. You see how that guy was paddling?
Yeah.
I paddle hardly at all because
I love your style.
I'm going down rivers, so
I love your style.
Let
nature and gravity do the work.
Yeah. So the rivers, I've been pretty much just going down DuPage River, and it's such a beautiful river, and there's always so much wildlife all around, but it's just very relaxing, and you just go. But with all this rain that we had,
is it good?
I won't even go on. It's too dangerous.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, here in Bolingbrook, last week when we had all that rain, they rescued, I think, like 11 or 13 kayakers.
What?
There was ambulances right down Napier Plainfield Road. There's fire trucks, but everyone was safe. Nobody got hurt. But yeah, they rescue a lot of people. It's dangerous when it gets that high.
So with this surplus of rain, the month of June, July, especially the few days leading up to July 4th holiday, the crazy microburst stuff, you're telling me the waterway is too high and it's too fast?
It's too fast, yeah. And then there's too much debris going down.
True.
And all that kind of stuff. So I'm still confused as to where they ran into a problem, but they rescued like 11 or 13 kayakers. Yeah.
Wow. Do you think these kayakers, I'm guessing, unlike you, are maybe rookies and novices and they don't know what they're doing?
Probably, because when we went down a few days later when it had gone down, and we saw one kayak off into the woods on one side, just abandoned, nobody around. And then we found a couple of big tubes, abandoned. So people probably were able to make it to the side and left it there. I don't know. Or they got kicked off the tube and swam to the side, something like that. So it can be dangerous.
Okay. Hey, I know you and I, for as long as we've been in our respective businesses, we're all about having that sense of urgency, taking advantage of time. So here's my question to you, Greg. Still on this topic of your other hobby, right? Kayaking. When the waterway is normal and safe, have you ever, while you're coasting, letting nature, gravity do its work for you, you're sitting in the kayak, have you ever done a phone call where you're negotiating a deal?
Yeah. Not so much negotiating deal, but I had a buyer on a real good price point.
Okay.
Had to see this house right away.
Got it.
And so I'm calculating when am I going to get out? And I said, all right, let's meet in, 2 hours. Yeah. So I scheduled it, and then I paddled to get down so that I could show them.
Then you were paddling.
Yeah. And I did not tell them I'm kayaking.
Of course not. Right. Yeah. But no, I love it. I love it. I had a feeling you've done that before. So in tonight's live stream, as we are just kind of getting started, right? Since we didn't see each other 4 weeks ago, and audience members, yes, we didn't see you. We do miss you. Ha, 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 ha. We hope you missed us, right? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. But no, Greg, I had a feeling you've probably taken some few calls here and there talking about real estate. All right, so let's now get serious. For all of you watching us, yes, I'm pointing at you. Let's get a little serious here. Let's talk about real estate, Greg. And so here is the simple general question. What's going on? What's happening in the business of real estate in greater Bolingbrook area?
Yeah, so in Bolingbrook, the prices are still increasing. I'm looking at the median price year over year. We're up 5.6% for detached homes. And it went from 405,000 up to 408 in 1 month, in the month of June.
Wow.
So
why is that?
It's still going up. There's still a lack of inventory, but there's the month supply from May, we were at 1.5 months, and we're down to 1.4 months. So the inventory is still lackluster. It's still low.
So in other words, lack of inventory, not enough sellers wanting to sell for whatever the reasons are. They're either, handcuffed by the low rate golden mortgage. Other reasons, they have life events where it's holding them back, not ready to sell. Third one, I think this is a real one. They don't know where they're going to go if they sell. Don't you agree?
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the biggest stress on any seller is, okay, I'll sell my home. I'll make a great profit. I'll be getting rid of my 2.5% interest rate. But where am I going to buy a home?
Where am I going to go? Right.
Because now, a lot of places are still multiple offers, some of them.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that segue you just dropped for me. So you're telling me the reason why I asked, why are prices still going high? It's because of it's still a seller's market. Buyer demand is still crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think before we went live, you were telling me, because I asked you, like, hey, how you doing? You said, oh, good. We chatted about that. And then you were telling me about one of your seller clients, one of your many listings where you were getting multiple offers, right?
Yeah.
Care to share with me how many offers you got?
Yeah, I can't give you that information.
Can I? Let's do a game. You got more than 5?
Yeah.
Enough said. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we got a lot of offers, and I feel bad for these buyers that just want a home. Some of them are investors, bidding on the property. The bids are all coming in, quite a bit higher than the list price.
Really?
Yeah, but
no one is being that jerk and trying to lowball, huh?
I did get a couple of lowball offers, but that just tells me that they're new at looking at a home.
Got it. You're right.
They just have to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
So, but we had a lot of really good offers, and sometimes, you get an offer and it's a great offer and it's a really good offer, and then you accept the offer, and then the buyer says, "Oh crap, what did I do?" And
I know.
They lose so many homes in multiple offer situations. Then they finally get one because they go for the moon, and then they say, "I can't do it. I don't want to do it." So then they back out of it. So that unfortunately is kind of what's happening on a lot of today's real estate, and it's super frustrating for the sellers because here they got this really nice deal, and then they got to put it back on, and then they might even get a second guy that says, "I don't want to do that anymore."
Yeah. So what you're telling me is, while getting multiple offers is an important first step, it's so important for that seller, putting a spotlight on you now. It's so important for that seller to make sure you are an experienced, trusted real estate advisor that can help them kind of scrub out. We need to go look at this. Let's have a plan and a strategy. I think that's what you're telling me.
Yeah. So, I look over everything, obviously.
Yep.
And then I even call the agent and have them call their buyer to make sure they're good with it before moving forward. And then I always prep the seller too, that these kind of shenanigans are going to happen, but it still happens, and it's still unfortunate. It's still a letdown for the sellers, to accept an offer that they really like, and then the buyer backs out. It happens.
True. You talked about the fact that with a lot of properties you're repping for sellers, and a lot of properties you actually move through the escrow process to close. I think you hinted at the fact that there are investors out there looking for property. Is that a surprise to you?
No. Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we had one investor, and he had, I think he said 50 something investment properties that he rents out.
Okay. Yeah. Can I tell you why I'm not surprised by your answer to that question for me? You want to hear what I have to say? All right.
Yeah.
Guess what, buddy? Here's the reality. You and I both know those buyers that do the stupid stuff, which is they think the right way to do things was 7 years ago. I'm going to lowball step into this thing and let's negotiate. Or they have fear that creeps in their head and voices that create doubt. And then they hem and haw, right?
Yeah.
And so eventually they are not that chosen buyer by you with your seller. And as you and I talked about, guess what happens to them? They go back to square two all over again with their search. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you also know this. When that happens 2 times, 4 times, 6 times, you know what happens to those buyers? They go back to renting. They go back to renting.
They highball it, and then they realize, oh crap, we got it. Now what do we do? We're paying 50 grand over asking, and so they say, cancel it.
Cancel it. And they go, and here's the thing. They go back to the real reality where they have to rent. And I am not surprised with how you answer my question. I kind of set you up for it, which is, hey, there are investors out there that are really that aggressive. And I'm right there with you, brother. The smart investors, when they see a good property, if it's priced right, they're going to tender an offer. Why? Because as soon as they get that close, they probably have tenants hopping in the hopper ready to do the deed.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? All right. So with that, let's bring up one of your current listings right now. All right, audience members. This is one of Greg's current listings. I see you've got an upcoming open house. So congratulations to you to convince sellers to do open houses. You and I both know this. It's a lot of work, right?
Yeah. It's, it's a 2-hour open house, but
yes.
You figure an hour prepping beforehand and probably 45 minutes to my door, after picking up signs and doing all that kind of stuff. And then you always get the people at the last minute saying, hey, I know we're closing in 2 minutes. Can I hurry up and run through the home? Yeah.
and I know, and because I know and I remember, because I've done some open houses with you. And yeah, it's always those 5 minutes until shutdown, they show up and then, yeah, what are we going to do, right?
Yeah.
So Greg, with this property is a 6-bedroom property. Holy cow. Where are the bedrooms? Talk to me.
One of the bedrooms is in the basement.
Got it.
But it is a 5-bedroom home. It's pretty big on the inside.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. I mean, it's ready to go. A lot of things are new in there, new roof, new siding, new garage door, new furnace, new water heater, new AC, a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's good. It's a nice house.
Good. Yeah. I mean, all of those major mechanicals that are relatively new are so important because Greg, you and I both know this. The buyers of today, especially the buyers buying properties to live in, they really don't want to do any fixer-upping.
Now, a couple of things that I did. So I had my guy do all the windows in there.
Yeah.
So he cleaned them all. You can see how clean they are.
I can see that.
And he did a fantastic job. The windows were dirty, so he got them, real clean. Okay. And then I had my cleaning crew go in there right before photos. Okay. And they scrubbed the house. They did a great job, amazing job. So when we went to take photos, everything was real beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, so, I can tell.
That's something that I usually do for a lot of my listings, if they need that kind of work on it. Yeah.
Makes sense. You gotta dress up the product. Put on the glam. It's kind of like a dating process, right?
Yeah.
So, audience members, a call out to some of you who have not been lucky enough to buy the home that you need to put into escrow. And so if you are looking to buy a home in Plainfield, Illinois, you need to look at this property. Clean windows, moving condition. And before we wrap up, I will share with you how you can start a conversation with Greg, maybe beforehand, before this weekend. But regardless, if you just show up at this public open house, at least you'll know who Greg is. And again, I'll show you how you can start a conversation with him. So Greg, let's bring this, let's drop this out. Let's just bring us back into a conversation together. So what I want to talk about is this. Where do you see the market right now with the next 6 months as we wrap up this calendar year of 2026? I'm curious to get your feedback. Is it going to still be a strong seller's market? What's your take?
So it's not moving from the seller's market so far in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to start moving toward the buyer's market. I think a lot of it's going to depend on interest rates and where the interest rates go. If the interest rates go down, kind of like they're saying, I think we'll get more sellers willing to pull the trigger on selling so that they can buy something. And then I think maybe it'll shift a little bit more to a buyer's market. No, we still have such a shortfall of housing for people.
There is a shortfall. There is a shortfall of housing. And audience members, this is setting myself and Greg up, and I'm teasing you for our next live stream. There is actually an article in the next live stream. I will load it up into our live stream. I'll share with you with a lot of visual aids as to why, with what Greg just said, it is spot on. What you just said, Greg, is spot on. There's a lack of inventory here in the Midwest. When people are going away from the Midwest, Sunbelt states, the coast, it's a totally different game. That's what I've heard. All right. So, as I mentioned to you, if you're looking to buy a property in Plainfield, Illinois, go check out Greg's open house this weekend for this huge home, 6 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, price pointed very competitively, and damn clean windows. Okay, so how can you start a conversation with Greg at the open house? Well, you'll see him there, but let's say you want to get a jump on it. How can you start a conversation with Greg? Real simple. Let me bring, hang on, wrong graphic here. Let me bring this up here. Here we go, right graphic. To start a conversation with Greg, simply scan the QR code that you see here. And along the way, if you have not, I repeat, if you have not been qualified and approved for financing to buy real estate, whether you're buying real estate to live in or buy real estate as an investor, and even if you're paying cash, have a conversation with me. I probably can enlighten you with, the whole thought is this. Use other people's money. Maybe you don't have to use so much of it, but if you're sitting on a lot of cash, hold on to some of it, leverage it so that you can do more with it. So as I have shared this with you, this is how you can get in touch with either one of us, both of us together. So together we can serve as your dream team with all things real estate music posse. Here we go. Play us out.